Have we learned anything about leadership from watching these task force briefings? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And recently I've been using the venue of phone calls, talking to President Trump and Dr. Fauci, to make some points about, policy, but mostly about leadership, because after all, this is a personal development channel. So right now at this point, I'd like to review some of the things that we've gone over, because maybe you missed them in terms of thinking about the coronavirus and not being focused on leadership and personal development. All right, so let's go. I have a few points for you here. First, when you start a meeting, you always want to start where we stand and what our current focus is, and that we have a singleness of purpose. Now, for the most part, these meetings have started that way somewhat, but we've had a meeting where the first thing was we came out and we started talking about how the Drug Enforcement Agency is doing this and doing that. That's not why people are tuning in. People are tuning in because they have a singleness of purpose. They want to know how this virus is being handled. What is it that I need to know as a citizen? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Because I have my kids to worry about. I have income to worry about. People are concerned. You have to be transparent about where we stand and be clear on your singleness of purpose, because you want to send one message. That's what people are able to receive. Secondly, you got to remember that people are interested in their problems and not in your problems. Hey, everybody's got problems. The way you elevate yourself in society is the more problems you solve, the higher your elevation. Hello, McFly. But understand this, when you're talking to the masses, when you're talking to the rank and file, when you're talking to the people in your business orbit, what they're interested in is, what does this mean for me? What problem is that going to create for me? Or how is that going to solve my problem? Yeah, great. You're sitting in the big office upstairs. You got a problem? Who cares? I care about my problems. That's the way life is. Understand that point. Third, people are interested in results. They're not interested in finger pointing. And, people get up there and, in certain business scenarios, I have this letter after my name and that letter after my name, but your business is going like this, your business isn't going up. Or I went to this seminar, that seminar, all right? You already got the job. I don't need to see your resume. You got the job because we thought you were qualified. Now what we're interested in is results. And we're not interested in you placing blame. He did it, she did it, I would have done it at this or because of that or whatever. People don't care about that. And not only that, and this is the most detrimental thing of all, when you start finger pointing as a leader, you create a culture of finger pointers. Nobody will take blame. People will keep quiet instead of admitting a mistake. That can be critical to your business. It's critical. Number 4, do whatever it takes to get the job done. Some people, they get into a leadership position and like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's way below my pay grade. You know what? If you have to go out there and you have to shovel poop as the leader to get the job done, then go to the hardware store and buy a shovel. You do what it takes to get the job done. As simple as that. When other people see you doing it, boom, they're going to say, boy, this person's willing to do what it takes, and that inspires the other people. They see that. That's one of the key things about leadership. You don't have to have a title to be a leader. But when people see you doing those things, boy, they're going to say, well, I'm not going to let him do more than I do, or I'm not going to let her do more than I do. They get right with it. And the other thing, and this is critical as a leader, if you need to be a cheerleader, if you need to give people compliments, don't tell me like, your paycheck is your thank you. Say thank you to the people that are working with you. Say thank you to the people that are getting the job done. Say thank you for people that are giving extra effort. But most importantly, don't be afraid to get in the trenches yourself, because you're above that position. Or in short, as my mentor Bob Anderson said to me many times, don't let pride get in the way of your pocketbook. Number 5, make sure that the proper jurisdiction is in charge. Now, if you have a business and you have leaders in that business, and let's say, one of the leaders is the maintenance department, then you don't have to be, as the leader, the person that says, I want you to sweep the floor like this. You say to the person that's in charge, you say, you're going to make sure that area is clean, right? And then you leave it to them to get that job done. Why? Because it's not necessary that you micromanage. However, there are certain situations where it is necessary to create a micromanagement lifestyle. Let's see, can I think of one off the top of my head? Oh yeah, how about this coronavirus thing? We need to get everybody in these United States on the same page. It needs to be micromanaged, or another way of saying that is we need to have one central organized body, one leader, one person that points out, has leaders that in different departments and holds people accountable to get this done, get that done, and so on, and not say, well, we're helping the states, and they should have done this and they should have done that. We need, at this point, this is a war. You don't have 50 generals leading the war in 50 states. You have one commander-in-chief. That's the way it should be done. The proper jurisdiction here is to wartime mentality. We all work together, but we have one coordinated effort with one leader. Okay, number 6, admit your missteps. All right? There isn't anybody on this planet that is perfect. Why is it necessary for some people as the leader to say, I never made a mistake, I didn't make a mistake? You know what happens when you admit your missteps? Is people look at you and they say, you know what? This guy or this lady is a human being. They're giving their best effort. They tried this. This is why they tried it. It didn't work. They're telling us it didn't work. And you know what? I'm going to forgive them. That draws people to you when you admit your mistakes. People say, they're human, I'm human, I could have made that mistake. Very simple. It's very simple. Admit your mistakes, be transparent, and trust people to be good. Isn't that an important thing? So you got to admit your missteps, because people are going to sympathize. And number 7, the last one we're going to talk about today, is to accept blame. As the leader, accept the blame as the failure. And by the same token, when something goes well, dish out the credit. Dish it out. Get it out of there. You don't want it. But you know what? In the overall picture, when it goes right, ultimately, people are going to say, this was the person that was the leader. So what good leaders do is they accept the blame, and what that does is it encourages people underneath to also accept blame and admit mistakes. Because if you don't see a mistake and you try and cover it up, that's what people do, is they cover it up, and then what happens? It festers and gets out of control. Lead by example. Accept the blame. Dish out the praise. That's what good leaders do. Next time we get together, we're going to go over a few more leadership points that we can learn from just watching this coronavirus task force and the things that they've been doing. And because you never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and charge. I'm Eli's dad.